Good evening, staff, administration, family members, and friends, and good evening to the Malden High class of 2023. Was I aware of the fact that I was supposed to write and deliver a speech today since last October? Yes, I did. Did I still start and finish writing the speech yesterday? You best believe I did. But while I was laying down in my room this last Friday night, dreading how to write a speech that recaps and concludes our chapter in high school and prepares us to have a positive mindset for the next chapter of our lives, while also obviously capturing my intense humor and sarcasm, there was so much that came to mind. Should I mention the 2 days of freshman orientation 4 years ago that felt like the longest thing in the world? Or the excitement when a teacher was absent and we could spend the entire period in our favorite teacher's room? Should I mention the long lunch lines at fourth lunch with our stomachs rumbling, or our time in flex where we spent the entire time talking to friends even after knowing we had a major test the period after? It's not so feasible to summarize our 4 years at Malden High in just 5 minutes. All the diversity that this place offers, from all our respective backgrounds, identities, cultures, interests, identities, and a plethora of other aspects. When we all walked into this high school 4 years ago, it was like hundreds of unique life stories and experiences coming together, ready to continue our stories for the next few years alongside each other. One of these stories was mine. I came in the US 6 years ago from pretty much the opposite side of the planet. My earliest childhood memories were giving declamation speeches at 6 years old and dancing to Bollywood music at school annual functions in front of about 1,000 people. As a result of my family's constant support and encouragement, with anything that I did, I was my very own celebrity, and no one could have convinced me otherwise. Then when I was 12 years old, we moved here. When I tell you the cultural reset was crazy, it really was. Everything that was considered to be normal for me changed. Everything from the past, the people, the memories, the places, were all left behind, and I was expected to adjust to this new normal. And within this dynamic journey of adjusting to this new life, there were a lot of times where I found myself losing certain pieces of myself. I was so preoccupied with wanting to adjust to the new normal that I didn't end up prioritizing the very nature of who I was. I displayed my persona so that people only saw the serious, hustling sides of me, rather than the person who actually looked at life with glistening eyes, always bouncing around with a constant sugar rush. What was the reason for my personality being masked? Maybe it was me trying to hide my vulnerabilities, fit in with the people, or simply please and prove others of my capabilities. But in this journey, I was misperceived by people all throughout. My caring nature sometimes seemed too authoritative for them, or my wish to simply help people and rid them of anything that they may be having troubles with seemed too egotistical. Yeah. But on the other side, even if I acted nonchalantly or passively, then I was deemed irrelevant or not capable of being a source for people to rely on. It was at this time that I came to realize that no matter what I do, it's not possible to please everyone. Being a woman of color, you'll always be subjected to people's expectations for you. They'll act uncomfortable and judgmental when they see you in roles of authority. And when you don't push yourself to your limits, then their assumptions and stereotypes about you simply having a reserved role in life are strengthened. But I hope that after we all leave here and take on our respective paths, be that college, a gap year, trade school, or the workforce, then we remember that we don't have to be a certain way for people to like us and accept us. Remember to not let comparisons, expectations, and stereotypes determine your path in life. If that's how people always viewed life, then we would not have had figures that we consider to be icons of our history and our generation. Instead of being so fixated on what others think of you, remember that the first step is to love yourself. And the only way that is possible is if you accept yourself and be true to yourself. You're also special in your own way and have contributed to our school and will continue to contribute to this world in amazing ways here on forward. But not only the diversity of our school is the reason why it's so hard to summarize these last 3 years, but also everything that we've gone through as a class and as a generation, be that the COVID-19 pandemic, global political turmoil, international wars, and so much more. Hopefully, neither do we see the end of this chapter as a final goodbye, nor do we let the fact that we had an unconventional high school experience disappoint us, but just see this as a beginning of the next, even more wonderful chapter of our lives, taking all the wonderful memories from here, making new ones. As I approach the end of my speech, I still am unsure, what else can I fit in? Should I mention the football games in the cold and rainy weather? Or the week of pep rally where everyone got their competitive sides out? Well, except our senior class. Like I said before, it's not possible to mention all of it. Malden is the only home that I've known in this country, and this may be the case for so many of you here, growing up in this town with the same people ever since elementary school. But I hope that when we continue to go on with our lives in whatever part of the world that we'll be at, we'll take a piece of our home in our memories and remember the nuances of our hometown in our future experiences. Maybe while you're dreading speaking in front of a crowd, you remember how jittery you used to get before poetry out loud. Or while you're feeling tired trying to hike up a cliff, you remember how you used to lose your breath going from the cafeteria all the way to the 4th floor. Yeah. Finally, I would like to leave you off with a quote from the GOAT of our generation, Mr. Kendrick Lamar himself. Yep. Take advantage, do your best, don't stress. You was granted everything inside this planet. Anything you imagine, you possess. Thank you so much to our wonderful teachers, family, and friends for being with us throughout, and happy graduation to all of us.
Saura! Damn, she walked slow.
Thank you, Saura. That was wonderful.
Bro,
I'd like to once again ask our senior members of the chorus to make their way over.